dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna, but you can call me Bri. And as you can see by the title and thumbnail, we are talking everything college. If you follow me on all my other socials, which you definitely should, they're linked down below, I've been kind of hinting at the whole college thing because I knew I was gonna make this video at some point, and the time is now. You may think this is a little early, but I'll get into why later. It's mainly just I did everything really early, and you should too. So if you're excited about college just like I am, you should definitely like and subscribe and do all those fun YouTube things. And let's just get started. So let's start off with the most exciting thing, and that's the school I chose to go to. Yes, my nails have been a hint this whole time. Here she is. Okay, you can't really see now, but I chose Penn State, and to my friends and family it was probably pretty obvious, but I am literally so excited. I have not been there in person yet, but I am visiting soon, and I just had the feeling that I was like, this is my place, and I really hope when I get there I still feel the same, but I literally just been thinking about it ever since I applied, and I don't know, it just resonated with me, and I was like, this is it. But there's also real reasons behind why I chose it and all that stuff. But first, I'm gonna talk about the ones I didn't choose because that's fun as well. So, I basically had 6 schools if I'm correct, and I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but I had very specific goals, which I'll also talk about. All of these schools are just big schools that have big football teams. That was kind of my base number 1. So my advice for that is to choose something that's really important to you first and go from there. I also wanted everything out of state and mainly on the East Coast. So that was also a huge one to start with. With that, I chose Rutgers, which is in New Jersey, Penn State, Ohio State, University of Maryland, University of Washington, which is on the West Coast, and Hawaii at Manoa, University of Hawaii at Manoa. That's a random one. But the reason I chose these, number 1 out of all of these, is the major. So if you know what you want, definitely choose colleges with the major you have in mind, because obviously that makes the most sense. My major is Korean language, which may sound really crazy, but I literally wear this Korean necklace every single day. So hear me out. And I was originally gonna minor in marketing, but based on where I chose, I think I'm gonna switch to public relations and advertising. I didn't choose these schools for different reasons, but a lot of the reasons were I either didn't really know about the state and wasn't completely sure of it, because most of these places I've never been to. Obviously I've been to Hawaii, but all the rest I've literally never been to. So that was kind of like hard because you had to search online to figure out what these places looked like and what it had surrounding the college. And it ultimately came down to Ohio and Penn for me. And Ohio's location just wasn't what I was looking for, so I decided on Penn. That's the brief little thing of it all, but it really wasn't so brief. Which leads me into my next thing, how I applied. And let me tell you, if you're gonna take one thing away from this video, it's to apply early and to start early. Have you ever heard of early action? You should be doing that. And if you're not, you should. There's no reason you shouldn't. If you want to get into your top schools, you should apply for early action, no matter where you're applying to. If they have it. Some of them don't have it, but apply early. And spent like 3 months just working on my essay. To do it early is an understatement, because really when you're thinking about it, once you're in high school, you have to figure out what you want to do with your life, and I know that's like a whole problematic thing. I'm so fortunate that I found something that I really loved and I stuck with it. If you know what you want to do, start as early as you can to find colleges that you're interested in, or just to start figuring out what ideas you have in your head. Anyways, I just spent a lot of time on this, and shout out to my mom because she spent a lot of time on this with us, helping us do all of this, because this is new to all of us. This is the first time. I have an older sister, but she did it based off of a sport recruitment, so it was a bit different. My brother and I were doing out-of-state stuff, so that is also different because my sister's was in-state. So we started early and we did everything. And before people even started talking about college at my high school, we were done. And the reason I'm so feisty about this, if you know who you are watching this, you should not hate on others because they are starting their college stuff early. My school, for some reason, doesn't believe in that because we were done with all of our colleges and we were either ready to apply or already applied to all of them. Our school finally started to say, let's start helping these kids out with their college stuff. It's way too late. I mean, not really, but if you want to get into the college you want to go to, it's too late. And my proof for that is I went to a Penn State info session a while ago and I actually filmed it. It's on my TikTok and Reels and stuff. But at the info session, they told me that it was a big number, like 70 to 80% of their undergrad population was made from early action people. There's no room because so many people apply to these big schools. If you take anything away from this, that is what you should take away because it's really important. And again, don't hate on others. Everyone has another journey, another path, a different way to go. And if you're saying, oh, you're too busy thinking about college, girl, you're in the wrong headspace then because I'm out here getting into my dream college and you're doing what? Anyways, sorry, that's a little rant. But moving on to the next thing. Like I said, I applied to everything out of state, which not a lot of people agree with if you're in California. My school specifically was trying to force everyone to apply to a safe school at the least in California, but that's not my dream. My dream is not to go to college in California, so I did not do that. Regardless, I applied for the Common App, and my few tips on that is it's pretty long, so start early. Also start early on your essay because that took a while, like a long time for me, and I had many people read it. Credited people read your essay if they can, so they can help you kind of make the story you want. For me, since I'm gonna major in Korean, I had someone who is Korean and knew what I was talking about read it. I had some high people from my work read it that I look up to, and I also had some school people, like people who were in that kind of college career path, also read it. Not from my own school though, because So that's my tips on that. If you're doing UC apps or whatever, I don't really got tips for you. I'm sorry, this is mainly for Common App. Another thing you can do besides just applying to find out more about the college, not only research a lot, but go to virtual info sessions or in-person info sessions. Like I said, the Penn State info session I attended, and it was a couple hours away, but it was so helpful. I also forgot to mention, my junior year, 2 years before I even go to college, I went to a college fair to pick out different colleges I thought I was interested in or that had the Korean major. So yeah, I was about 2 years ahead. And I'm not trying to brag, I'm trying to warn you guys, like this is what you guys should be doing. Because if I got into where I want to go, then you definitely can. If you start early and just, even if you don't know what you want to do, start figuring out other aspects of your college life that you want to have. Like be in a sunny place, be in a cold place, be in your state, be out of your state, stuff like that. I also did some virtual tours. I did one at Rutgers, and that led me to not want to go there only because the way their campus was laid out was not what I was looking for. So that kind of made me rule that one out, but that was good. It narrowed down my decisions. I forgot to mention, I also got into the Rutgers Business School, which I don't know how that happened, but I'm extremely proud of myself because that business school has a less than 10% acceptance rate. And I got in! That made a hard decision for me because I really didn't want to go to Rutgers based off that virtual tour. But I got into such a big opportunity, and maybe you guys won't agree, but I decided to do what I wanted to do most, which is not do a business school because yeah, I'm smart and I got into the business school, but will I put in the effort to do good in the business school? You know, also one of the top 10 business schools in the country. So I really had to think about if that was my priority or not, but it just goes to show crazy things happen. Now I'm gonna give you more of a background of what I did to get into college. I don't know if that's the right way to say it because this is very different for everyone. So I'm going to say like the classes I took, the extracurriculars, grades and test scores and whatnot. I'm not going to be too in depth because that's too much information, but I want to preface this by saying what I do doesn't matter for you. It's a good reference, I guess, because you're told you have to get good grades, you have to get these good test scores to get into these high schools, but also I feel like you kind of don't. It really just depends. I don't know why I got into the schools I got into. You'll never actually know, but I can't really base it off the fact that my academics are not. You know, I can really only base it off the story I told in my Common App and how it all connects. That's my only guess. Like, I don't even know if they read my essay. You really don't know. So take this with a grain of salt, okay? But classes I took were always honors or APs throughout high school. That obviously looks good, but you have to do good in them. I mainly got A's and B's, a couple C's here and there, but I also took a lot of online classes every summer. Summer after freshman year, I took social media marketing, which goes into my whole major and minor. After my sophomore year, I took an English 101 class, so that kind of counts towards my English credits in college, I think. And then the next summer, I took Korean 1, and then this fall, I took Korean 2. So I took a lot of stuff outside of class that will also help, and I think that's going to be a thing in college as well, is to do a lot during your summer times as well. Like I said, for my grades, I'm not going to say my test scores, but so far I've passed all my APs, but that doesn't mean I got a high score. I still have APs this year, and I don't know if I'm going to do good. I really don't. I don't usually say I'm going to do good, and usually I barely pass, so take that with a grain of salt as well. I didn't do the SAT or anything. Well, I did. I did bad. But also my schools were all test optional, but it looks like that's not going to be a thing anymore, so you may want to actually study up on that and do good. Now, for extracurriculars, this is an interesting one because I don't know how this really plays into everything. First, volunteering. I did one volunteering thing. One of my bigger ones is sports. As you may know, I did soccer for 14 years. More specifically, I did club soccer for 14 years, and then I did all of high school soccer, so that's my sports end, but I didn't want to go into college doing a sport. I may do it, who knows, but as of now, it's a no. I also added my jobs, which I have a job, I'm not going to say what, and then I also babysit. So that's kind of just my extracurriculars. And then inside of school, I have clubs, and I've been in a million clubs, really. Do they really mean anything? I don't know. Like, NHS, that's great, but like, everyone has that on their application now. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Join clubs. I think it's more interesting than to just do it because you're doing it for college. You know? I feel like I talked a lot and I don't want to make this too lengthy. If you have more specific questions, please comment them down below and I can make another video or whatever. I'm just basing this off of what I think people would like. But my overall tips are these. Work hard, first of all. If you want to get into your dream college, you can't slack off in high school. That's kind of a given. Even if you do, you can still get into college though. It may not be like the top one, whatever, but it's still possible. Plan early. That's my biggest takeaway. Please take away that if you're gonna take away anything. And this is kind of a big one, but you don't have to go to the top school. You don't have to go to the school that your high school thinks is the best. You don't have to go to the Ivy Leagues or Stanford or whatever. You go to the school that matches you and that works for you. Even if I got into an Ivy League, I don't think I would go because that kind of rigor is just not for me. It's not the vibe. I'm here for the full college experience. That was my thing. I forgot to mention that weather was a big thing for me. That's why I wanted to go to the East Coast, because if I'm gonna experience weather, I want to do it during college because it's not a permanent thing and you can see if you like it and whatever. And I live in California and we don't have seasons. So I want to experience seasons, and that, yeah, you get the point. With saying you don't have to go to the top schools, you also don't have to go to UCs. And this may just be a California thing because my whole school is obsessed with UCs. And I know they're good and I know they're rigorous, but they're really hard to get into. And everyone and their mom in California is applying to them. So if you have the urge to go out of state, even just a little bit, please try, because you need to go explore. You don't have to do what everyone else does. Because your friends are going to this school doesn't mean you have to go to that school. You're gonna make new friends. That's the whole point of college. And this may be kind of controversial, but don't live at home. I'm just gonna straight out give that advice. Don't live at home and go to some community college local. There's nothing wrong with that. There's not. I get it. But if you want to explore and you know you want to grow as a person, you need to leave. That doesn't mean out of state, but it could be. If you need to leave all the way out of state to grow and become your own person, do that. If you want to stay in state, that's great. But try not to just live at home, which I know sometimes is the case, and that is totally fine. But if you have the opportunity and the resources to, you need to leave. You need to leave because you need to grow as a person individually and become your own adult in college. And that doesn't include your parents or your friends from kindergarten. Ultimately, in the end, it's your choice. Just don't let people influence you, like your friends or your family. Well, I know family has a big part in it, so take that with a grain of salt, but you know what I mean. Do what you think is best for you and dream big, because what else are you gonna do in your lifetime except chase what you've always wanted? That's what I'm doing, going across the country to go to a state I've never been to for college, and weather I've never been in. It's to grow and to follow my dreams, because I'm not gonna achieve these dreams if I'm sitting right here in this home. But that's just me. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. Like I said, if you have anything else you would like to know, please comment down below. I am so happy to share on this topic because I feel like I've got it down now. Not how to get into college, just some good advice and words of wisdom you can take with you to go on this college admissions journey. If you're waiting for any decisions, I wish you the best of luck. And I hope everyone gets into where they desire. But more importantly, I hope everyone that needs to grows in college and becomes their best, truest adult self. Because that's what I aspire to be, of course. So I wish you all the best of luck. And don't forget to follow all my socials down below. I would say you can shop my clothes with the link down below, but you can't really shop this. But I do have that. Also check out my blog. Obviously there won't be a post for this video because I'm just wearing this. But I will see you all very, very soon with another video. Good luck everyone with this decision season. I believe in you guys. Okay, bye!